new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Pace-setting Rajasthan Royals are within touching distance of the playoffs. Record-setting Sunrisers Hyderabad have stumbled a bit in their recent outings. They now meet in match number 50 of the season. Let's build up to that on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL, where we have Mitch McClenaghan and Deep Das Gupta for company. Good evening, gentlemen. Sunrisers Hyderabad. The conversations moved almost as fast as their scoring rate. All of a sudden, 2 losses while chasing, similar patterns emerging, and there are questions upon SRH. Do you think they need a slight tempering of their approach when they are chasing?
Whether we think that they need to or not, it's not going to change. Absolutely no chance. They're playing an aggressive style, and everything we hear coming out of the camp is they love playing that style of cricket, which is great. It's enjoyable to watch. The only consideration now is that does them losing the toss and batting second start to affect them mentally as a side? And I imagine they've got enough experience in that changing room to be able to get past that, but surely it's got to start playing on their minds. They've only won 1 out of 4 games chasing, where conversely they've won 4 out of 5 when they've been setting. So that's significant, and I think it's just when you bat first, you kind of can dictate the pace of play, and it's not as significant. You don't have the scoreboard pressure when you're chasing and lose a couple of wickets. So they'll be hoping that toss comes down the right way for them and they can bat first.
Yeah, just to back up what Mitch said, those numbers take some nosedive when Sunrisers are chasing. They've been going at almost 12s when they've batted first this season. That falls to well under 9 in chases. And as Mitch pointed out, they've lost 3 out of 4 while chasing. And a big difference in their 6 hitting and balls per boundary as well. But the larger point, is it going to be something that opposition teams now see as the strategy? Bat first against this team and put pressure on them?
It's difficult because in this format, ideally you would want to chase. So batting first, it's a brave move. Even though if you look at the numbers, almost 50-50, teams winning batting first and second. But more often than not, if you win the toss, you would want to chase. So it becomes that much more difficult. But when you look at your opposition and their numbers, chasing is as poor as that, 1 out of 4, obviously you would take into account when you're deciding. And it's quite interesting. It's got to do with the freedom. When you're batting first, like you rightly said, there is no scoreboard pressure and you just go out there. And let's not forget also the last few games, the pitches have kind of been a little more tired, doesn't really suit that template of batting that they've got. So that's where I think someone like Aiden Markram or even someone like Klaasen, who's got different gears, you don't expect the top orders and the openers to bat any differently. But it's in the middle, someone like Aiden Markram who's got different gears. I think it's very important for someone like Aiden Markram to kind of guide that run chase and get that tempo set that tempo.
Whenever Sunrisers do bat, we're in for an all-star power play because you have the most explosive batting unit in the power play coming up against the most potent and most frugal bowling attack in the first 6 overs. Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma up against Trent Bolt and Sandeep. How do we see that playing out?
Geez, this is the battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, like you said, the battle of probably the best bowling lineup in the competition to the most aggressive batting lineup. So I don't know which way it's going to go. If Travis Head gets hold of a few, that momentum that they've built when they get ahead early is significant and that can flow on. And it'll be the first time, or not the first time, we've seen Rajasthan under some pressure in those first 6 overs. But it's going to be a significant challenge. It really is. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know about you, Deep, but that's probably what I'm most looking forward to. SRH batting against RR's bowling.
And it just feels like regardless of which innings this happens, this is the phase that is likeliest to determine the outcome.
100%. See, with RR, the challenge is because their bowling unit is so well-rounded. They've got good spinners, good fast bowlers. So against RR, it becomes very difficult as good a batting unit, as destructive a batting unit that SRH is. They really need to bat well right through all the phases of the game because, you kind of survive the first 6 overs, then suddenly in the middle overs, you've got Chahal and Ashwin to encounter. So I think they're a really good bowling side and as a batting unit, and especially we're talking about in Hyderabad, that might help the SRH a bit, that surface there in Hyderabad that we've seen this season. So that might be a little bit of an advantage for the home side. But again, if you look at the RR bowling, it's so well rounded with so many variations. It's a tough one.
The head-to-head in Hyderabad favours SRH. They've won 3 and lost 1, but Rajasthan's only win was the last time these two teams met in Hyderabad. What are we expecting this time? Predictions?
Yeah, I think Sunrisers is going to bounce back. Yep.
Deep?
From the comp perspective, I say Sunrisers, and they'll make things a little more interesting. I mean, RR is almost there.
Right, so you've heard it from the panel. They believe Sunrisers will strike back. But if Rajasthan are to win, they will become the first team to win 9 of the first 10 games in an IPL season.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.